welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel, guys. So it has been a while since I've been in this setup in my room, in my home. As you can probably tell by the title, today I'm going to be telling you how I became hired and furloughed in under a year as a flight attendant. I'm actually going to do this while getting ready. I'm not going anywhere, honestly. I'm not going anywhere, but it's been a minute since I did my makeup on camera, or in months. I've probably done my makeup at least once or twice. Can you see I'm like so smiley? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So first thing I'm going to do is prime. I'm going to be using the Farsali Skin Tune Blur, the Fenty Pro Filter Matte Primer, and also the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I was first interested in becoming a flight attendant 2.5 years ago. This YouTuber called Ashley Smith. She has a YouTube channel about flight attendant life. It's called Ashley Smith TV. I was looking at her videos, and every day when I came home from work, because at this point I was working in banking, I came home from work and I just binged all her videos. And I remember telling my mom, I think I want to become a flight attendant. I have a mirror right here if you ever see me like glancing over, just to make sure like I'm not, yeah, you know what I mean. I started applying to a legacy carrier, which is a carrier that I've been flying from the time I was a child. Kind of the one I work for right now. Well, not right now, I'm furloughed. So I went ahead and applied. So how the process goes according to airline, but it's probably like the same sequence. You fill out your application, you complete an online assessment. Once you complete the online assessment, if you pass, you are invited to participate in the video interview. Once you pass the video interview, then they invite you to the face-to-face, and from then they'll let you know whether they want to move on with you, to invite you to the training, or they'll let you go. So I tried twice, and every time you submit an application, it's probably like a 6-month wait period between you can apply again. So 6 months went by, I applied again, and no. I did not get it again. So I was kind of defeated at that point. So now that I moved to Atlanta, I said, you know what? Let me try again. I tried again when I was working at Sephora, and this time I tried 2 different airlines. All legacy carriers. If you don't know what a legacy carrier is, they're either American Airlines, Delta Airlines, or United Airlines. And for each one, I got rejected. I got past the online assessment and I was invited to participate in the video interview, but they told me, hey, I'm sorry, but no. Sometimes it's not for you. Yes, you want the career that you want, but maybe the timing or the company isn't right for you, and there's always like a plan in the universe. I watched a lot of flight attendant hiring processes and tips and tricks on YouTube. Apply to as many airlines as you can, no matter if it's not your dream airline. Once you get your foot in the door, then you can go from there. Oh, this thing. If you guys see this, I have it on backwards because I thought it was like cuter with the holes. But this wouldn't stay down. So if you see it like flip-flop, then it is what it is. Apply to as many airlines as you can. One of them will bite and you'll be able to get in with one. Just keep trying, but try to multiple airlines. And what I did was I applied to airlines that had association with my dream airline. I'm taking my mineralized skin finish by MAC in Deepest Dark, and I'm just going as a base, but I did that and it was like 1 a.m. and I was doing research on airlines associated with the airline that I currently work for. So that's what I did, and at 1 a.m., 1:30, 1 o'clock, I applied. So after that, I would say not even a week later, maybe 3 days or so, I got the invitation for the video interview. So I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And for some reason, their video interview felt different. There was just a feeling in me that was like, this one felt different. And I remember telling my family that this one felt different, because I would give them updates on how it went, how the processes were going. And for some reason, this one felt different in my soul. It really did. So now I'm going in with my Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Maple. So I completed that video interview. I was confident, but I didn't want to get my hopes up. Probably 3 days later, after I completed the video interview, I was at work at Sephora and I remember checking my email. I checked my email. Guys, when I tell you I cried, I shed a tear, and my coworker that was with me, she was so excited I got invited to the face-to-face. When I saw that, I was so excited. I was so excited because it was like, finally, okay, I could actually, like, I'm closer, like this is it. The online assessment, they're just testing to see where your mind is at. The video interview is just, they want to see you. They want to put a face to the name. They want to put a face to the assessment. Basically, that's what the video interview is for. My face-to-face date that I chose, because they gave us certain days where they were going to conduct face-to-face interviews and certain amount of slots available. I chose the last one because I was like, I need to prepare. This is my dream job and this is what I want to do, so I want to make sure that I'm as prepared as possible and I don't want to just go rush into it. I messaged a friend of mine who was actually already a flight attendant with the company that I was about to do the face-to-face interview with. When I tell you she was a blessing, she was a blessing. She knows who she is. And if you're seeing this, hi. But she knows who she is, and when I tell you she was a blessing, because I was a nervous wreck and she had to tell me like, Mia, calm down, you got it, you'll be fine. I went into the interview and I felt so confident but nervous at the same time. I was so happy that to even be at the face-to-face. I had a thought, if I got rejected after this face-to-face, I was going to be okay. I got to this point. For concealer, I'm going to be going in with the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer in the shade Mocha. At the interview, there were about 3 stages, I would say. They did a panel, we did a group exercise, and then we went into the one-on-one. So by the end of the one-on-one, honestly, I felt so confident, and I was like, if I don't get this job, oh my gosh, something's wrong. Something is totally wrong. After the one-on-one, they escorted you out the building, and there was a shuttle down to the airport. We weren't sitting around waiting to find out if we got hired or not. No. As soon as you were done, they escorted you to the door to the airport. On the bus, we all talked about how confident we felt, basically our overall thoughts on how the day went. So we got to the airport and we were sitting in the terminal. It was 3 of us at this point. Everyone else went to separate gates. 2 of us was going back to Atlanta and 1 was going somewhere in New York. The other flight attendant, Hopeful, she was like, check your emails, guys, check your emails. I was like, she's like, yes, open your emails. So I opened my emails. We all did at the same time. And when I tell you, we were jumping, screaming, crying in the airport terminal, and people are just looking at us like, what the heck is wrong with those ladies? We're like, we're sorry, we just got offered a job. We were so excited, guys. We were so excited. So after that, they sent out, you know, our training packets, our training dates and everything. So from the time I submitted my application for this company to the start of my training day, it was about a month and a half from the time I submitted my application to the time I was starting training. And that's really fast compared to the process it takes usually to become a flight attendant. So now I'm going to take my banana setting powder by Fenty and I'm going to set underneath my eyes. I got my training day and my training day was November 25th. Training was about 4 to 6 weeks total, which included our in-class training and also our IOE, which is our initial, basically our training flight, where we're on the aircraft with an instructor just to see how proficient you are, and that way you get your wings. So I actually had to do 2 IOE. The first one, it was a 4-day trip and we just had so many delays on the 3rd day. We had 4 flights that day and 2 of our flights ended up being canceled. Ultimately, I did not have enough flight hours to get my wings on that trip, so they had to reschedule me for a next IOE, which kind of sucked, honestly. I did end up getting my wings on the second go around. I was excited, and from then I started on the line as a qualified flight attendant. Guys, if this looks really white, it's okay. It's gonna calm down actually once I set it with my setting spray. Starting out, my entire class, and let me just tell you that about 6 individuals that were in my face-to-face were actually in my training class. So I went to training knowing of them and being familiar with who they are. I would say training to me was not difficult. Stressful, yes, but not difficult. I guess everyone has a different experience when it comes to flight attendant training. Now I'm going in with the honey powder by Fenty just to set the rest of my face. Difficult in the sense that you are gaining so much information in a short period of time, and you have to process all of that information basically kind of overnight, because the next day you're starting on new material. You know, once you had a core group of individuals that know your study habits or your study habits are compatible with theirs, that would be my one advice to anyone going into flight attendant training. Go with an open mind, number one, and find a group that fits you. Well, it can be 1 person, 2 people, 3 people, no matter what, because I honestly don't think that we would have made it through training without each other, because that's a big part of becoming a flight attendant. You have to know how to depend on the people around you, especially your crew. Like when you're on a 4-day trip, you have never met these people, but by the end of the trip, you're gonna become pretty good friends if your crew is cool. So for bronzer, I'm going to go in with my Mocha Mommy bronzer by Fenty right here. We graduated December 20th. My entire class was sent to Cincinnati, Ohio as our base, and from then I transferred to DCA, which I love. I love DCA. The DCA crews are amazing. Our in-flight supervisors and in-flight staff are great. I have no complaints. DC is a great place to be, honestly. It's so my vibe. I love it. And then the pandemic hits. This pandemic, oh, it changed a lot, as you guys know. The airline industry it suffered big time. I remember having flights that had 3, 5, 6 people. One flight had 1 person on it. 1 person. And I remember thinking, I'm like, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. Things are gonna change. Things are gonna get better. Corona we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna figure this out together. Everything's gonna work out. No. No, it did not. And ultimately, we got the word that in October we were going to be furloughed if nothing changes. Okay, so I actually did my brows off camera. As you guys can see, I got tired of my thing flapping, so I just like tucked it in. The last few months of being a flight attendant, I would say, were pretty hard. Very emotional. So for eyeshadow, I'm going to be going in with the ColourPop Nude Mood eyeshadow palette. So let me get a blending brush, and I'm going to go in with Mugged Off, and I'm going to pop that into my crease. The last few months of being a flight attendant, so I would say about July, August, September. July, August, September, I would say were the hardest months leading up to being furloughed, because at this point we knew we were getting furloughed come October 1st, but it was still like, that is our last resort, you being furloughed. So if anything happens between then you won't be furloughed. You'll get to keep your job and all your benefits and insurance and all that good stuff, but if not, you will be furloughed October 1st. So most of us already, we were hopeful. We were hopeful, we were extra optimistic. We were like, you know what, we're in July, something is gonna happen. something is gonna happen between now and then, and they won't furlough us. They're gonna be able to keep our jobs. That was actually the mood. For August, I would say we were like 50-50 when it came to optimism. We were like, you know what? September is next month, and we're just hoping that they do something, that something happens between now and then, that we will be able to keep our jobs, because September is right around the corner. It's next month, and we highly doubt they're just gonna keep us lingering and not tell us anything formally about being furloughed. And then September came. And when September came, we knew that we were getting furloughed, and that this was the end of us being flight attendants for right now. We knew. I guess the month of September, we kind of went through a period of sadness. Sadness, slight denial that it's actually happening. Like, you know, when you have a boyfriend, and this is exactly how I explained it to my roommates. I feel like this whole furlough process is when you're in high school or middle school and you have a little boyfriend and you guys are going through a rough patch, but you don't know if you guys are going to stay together or not, but you're just playing it by ear. You're still cuddling, you're still holding hands down the hallway, you know, he's still walking you to class, like doing all the stuff a boyfriend is supposed to do, but ultimately you know that it's not, you're gonna break up, but you're not exactly sure when or how it's gonna go. That's exactly how I pitched it to my roommates, and they were like, you know what, that is actually pretty accurate about the feeling right now. I'm gonna go in with Moody, which is this nice deep dark brown right here. The last 2 weeks of September, when they were talking about extending the PSP and saving jobs, you know, a bunch of flight attendants and aviation personnel really hustled hard. We hustled hard in order to possibly convince Congress or the Senate to extend the PSP so we can keep our jobs. I mean, I know that across the board, across the world, a lot of people were in a worse position than we are, but ultimately it was not enough. So here we are. Furloughed. I miss being a flight attendant. So I'm gonna work on my bottom lash line. I am kind of enjoying being at home, sleeping in my own bed, in my own space, because as a flight attendant, you don't really have that luxury unless you're a line holder, which means you have a set schedule, so you know when you're gonna fly, you know where you're gonna be on certain days. Me starting out as a reservist, we don't have that luxury. Which is why I was in DC or Ohio for the past few months, and now I'm back in Atlanta because I'm furloughed. But we don't have the luxury of sleeping in our own bed most of the time, or seeing family, seeing friends, and it's good to have that downtime, but let's not make it a habit. I am so ready to be back flying. I miss it. Every time I hear a plane take off, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I was you. And what's funny, every time when I was moving back home to Atlanta, I will put that video somewhere in the cards so you guys will see the process of me trying to get back or move my stuff back here. That was a hassle. Majority of the employees that weren't being furloughed that I've ran into, you got the puppy eyes. You got the, have you been furloughed? Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, I know. I'm furloughed. Thank you. Thank you. But yes, I have been furloughed. Thanks. Thank you. But yes, guys, I love being a flight attendant. I honestly don't see myself doing anything else in life. Honestly, it has been such a lifestyle change, and I knew for a fact when in my last careers there was some reason why I really didn't like it. And when I would have those jobs, it would be like, oh my gosh, I wish I was somewhere else. I wish I was doing something else, but I didn't know what that was until now. When I was at home, I wanted to be away. And when I was away, I wanted to be home. It's like I didn't want to stay still. I didn't want to be in one place for too long, and I think that's why I love this job so much, because you have the flexibility to live anywhere and work in a totally different state. But right now, you guys, the plan is that I don't have a plan. I do not have a plan. I will say this. I will be back flying. All those who were furloughed, hopefully soon, within the next few months, we will be back to the jobs that we worked so hard to get, because honestly, I've heard, and I'm not doubting this, but I've heard that becoming a flight attendant is harder than getting into an Ivy League school, and I honestly believe that to be true, because some people try years to become flight attendants or pilots, like tries after tries, interviews after interviews, applications after applications, trying to get into any airline that they can get their foot into the door and get the experience. And I'm so blessed to have this experience. I'm so happy that I was able to get in when I was able to get in. But honestly, you guys, I would not change this experience for the world. If there's anyone out there that is interested in becoming a flight attendant, I would say keep trying, because eventually something is going to bite, someone's going to bite, and they're going to pick you up and they're going to be blessed to have you. So now I'm actually going to pop on some mascara. I'm going to be going in with two different ones. First, I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty, what's this, Full Frontal Mascara. And then I'm going to top it off with the ColourPop Volumizing Mascara in Black on Black. This is just what I've been doing recently. I kind of like the combination of the two, because the Fenty Mascara, the wand is so different. It has this skinny side, but then it becomes wider, and it's good for separating your lashes really well. So I'm actually going to speed through this, and then I'm gonna pop on some lashes, and then I will be right back with you guys. So now I'm gonna go in with blush, and I'm actually pretty excited because I got this a few days ago from Sephora, and it's the new Fenty Beauty Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Blush, and I only got one, which is the only shade I kind of had my eye on. So this is the shade Rose Latte, and it's just like a deep burnt burgundy type shade. So I'm actually going to put that on my cheeks. I'm going to use this blush brush. I've seen a lot of people really like this, so it's... oh yes, oh yes. I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. But let me know, you guys, exactly, like, if you guys want to see something specific on my channel, certain type of vlogs, certain type of makeup tutorials, videos, like, give me some ideas in the comment section down below. Once we get recalled, I'm actually going to continue to film flight attendant videos for you guys. So for lips, I'm actually going to go in with the Stunna Lip Paint by Fenty and Unveil as my liner. This is just what I've been doing recently, and then I'm going to top it with the KK Beauty Nude number 3 lipstick. Well, you guys, as you can see, my makeup is complete. I hope you enjoyed this get ready with me, even though I'm not going anywhere. How I became hired as a flight attendant and furloughed in under a year. And next month would have been my 1 year as a flight attendant. Next month I will be doing a 1 year as a flight attendant wrap-up update. If anything changes between now and then, I will let you guys know in that video. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not done so already. Also, leave comments down below letting me know exactly what you want to see from me. I'd love to hear about it. So you guys, without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.